So thank you all for being here. I have something to announce that was not in the program, but we have a special guest with us tonight who is actually, the kind of origin story of Cultivation Classic stems from him. Our Congressman, Earl Blumenauer, is with us, and he's going to say a few words. Congressman Earl Blumenauer He has devoted his entire career to public service, beginning with spearheading the effort to lower the voting age to 18, both in Oregon and at the national level, while still a student at Lewis and Clark College. He is now supportive of lowering the voting age to 16. Yes. Throughout his time as an elected official, Earl has been a longtime advocate and champion for the legalization of cannabis, and he is the co-founder and current co-chair of the Congressional Cannabis Caucus. Earl is truly our best friend in Congress. Please welcome Congressman Blumenauer to the stage.
Thanks, Steph, and thank you all for being here. It's appropriate that we're having this in Revolution Hall, right? Because there is a revolution going on. It's taken a long time, much too long, but we're reaching the point where people are starting to understand that the failed policy of prohibition of cannabis is wrong-headed, destructive, counterproductive, and not the wave of the future. We now have some form of cannabis legal in 47 states. 47 states. And I'm proud that Oregon was the first state to decriminalize and one of the first states to legalize. And with the Cultivation Classic, you're part of the evolution of this movement. Only in Portland, or shall I say Portlandia, would this happen. Being able to signify the maturity of this effort, the breadth of the involvement, the notion that there's a role for science, for careful analysis, for being able to do it right. And it is spreading. You notice we had a little action in the legislature where they're setting the stage for being able to sell cannabis across state lines. In my day job in Congress, when I'm not leading the effort to end that failed prohibition of cannabis, I chair the Trade Subcommittee for Ways and Means. And Canada went all legal on us October 17th. Mexico is now looking at moving towards legalization of adult use. As I mentioned, we've got 47 states that are doing something. We have an opportunity for a North American cannabis market. And you're on the front lines. We've also seen the blueprint that we've developed for this Congress. I was involved with almost 90 campaigns around the country to try and get you a better Congress, and it's turning out pretty well. We were able to share with each and every one of the candidates we helped information about why they ought to not just support, they ought to embrace legal cannabis, medical cannabis, the research, the banking. This is the wave of the future for so many people. Think for a moment what's going to happen when we are able to have the VA, Medicare, and Medicaid be able to utilize medical cannabis. We'll save hundreds of billions of dollars, and we will save lives. Where we have a robust, honest cannabis market, there are fewer opioid deaths. I'm sorry, I'm about to give a speech, and I didn't mean to do that. But I get excited about the progress that's going on. We just had, last month, the first hearing for a substantive committee that passed out the banking bill with 45 to 15 votes, including 11 Republicans. This movement is cresting. There's real progress available in this Congress. I am convinced, if not this Congress, certainly next, we will have full legalization. Our time has come. We're going to be able to break down those barricades and barriers and be able to have the full promise of this product. You know, it was interesting that even Mitch McConnell embraced hemp in the last Congress. You know, it took a little while. I mean, I'm sure Thomas Jefferson and George Washington are spinning in their grave with the notion that we had to do this for hemp, something they grew on their plantations, or not they, slaves grew on their plantations, but it was a part of their life. And with your work, we're making it an appropriate part of people who want to take advantage, who people want to develop the products, help other people, be able to be pioneering in something that's going to make a huge difference in the lives and livelihoods of others. And last but not least is the notion of restorative justice. This failed prohibition of cannabis fell heavily on people of color, especially young African American men, destroying 1 million lives. And we're in the process now of reversing that catastrophe. And all of you have played a role in it, and I thank you. Looking forward to being your partner this year or next, where we get this across the finish line. Thank you very much.